Yo, wake up. What's going on, everybody? My name is Asim here. We're with the Concast, bringing you a season preview of our favorite baseball team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Even though Amzad got the Yankees hat on for some reason,
Sorry, guys.
I don't know what he got going on. He,
One
he,
of us
he
got
he
to
didn't get
one
the
of us
memo
got to
today.
support our second home.
After the Blue Jays coming off a super disappointing season and an extremely busy offseason, highlighted by the non-extension of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and highlighted alongside a lot of key signings such as Max Schrezer, Anthony Santander, the trade of Andres Jimenez, as the Jays are looking to build in what could be one of the biggest seasons in Blue Jays franchise, like in one of the biggest seasons in the last couple years, as everyone knows the loomingness of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And with the regular season starting on Thursday, the Blue Jays are going to be kicking off against the Baltimore Orioles with Jose Barrios getting the start. I know we talked about this earlier with the Vladdy's extension and we got into a little bit about the Blue Jays, but how are we feeling about this season this year for them?
Who want to go
So
first?
as the one who said a lot negatively about the Blue Jays, I think we're gonna do really good this year. I think that genuinely, I think that genuinely we have a lot of key pieces that can work together very well. I think defensively we're gonna be a very strong team. Our pitching rotation is really good. I'm excited to see what our bullpen looks like, as well as our offensive consistency. Also, pardon me that it's very loud. This is the quietest it gets here in Puerto Rico. So,
What?
but
Three?
yeah, I think there's a lot of balance throughout this team. I think that if they stay healthy and there's offensive consistency, which is the Blue Jays' struggle, they can be a team that can make a push into a playoff spot.
You really think they
Imran,
can
what
make
do
a
you think of
playoff
that?
spot?
I think the Blue Jays will be in the playoffs for sure. I think there are a lot of
Oh, for sure.
I
Jeez.
think a for sure playoff spot. We will see them in the playoffs if, like I said, there is a healthy team and offensive consistency.
And we could
It's
say
so
that about
funny.
any team.
Just to branch off on Azar's point, consistency. I think some of the biggest key topics for the Blue Jays this season, and consistency wise, is gonna come off the consistency questions we have from. Sorry, the consistency questions we have from guys like George Springer. I mean, he's on a large deal, and he has not been consistent through any part of this, any year of his contract so far. So for him to be a consistent, he doesn't have to be that 300 leadoff hitter anymore. But for him to be a consistent bat in that lineup and stay in the lineup will be one thing. Especially Alejandro Kirk, he's got to be the catcher for the Blue Jays that they need him to be. And he's had glimpses and months and streaks of hitting well. Obviously, everyone knows he's one of the best defensive catchers, but he's put together streaks here and there of great hitting. But let's just see if he could put that over a year. Consistency in Bo Bichette, which is probably the biggest storyline of the year in terms of consistency.
Contract
Um,
here, bro. He's going all out.
in 2022, 2023, he led the American League in hits and average, and then he last year he had one of his worst seasons of his career. So
He
consistency
was
from him is
injured too, you know.
ABS system coming in next year. He's going to be the guy that's going to use this to the full advantage and use it to benefit the Blue Jays in key games, in key pitches.
Deal, bro. Our pitching not good. The defensive
Our
catcher does
rotation's
nothing when
amazing.
your pitching is doesn't do
Our
nothing.
no, our
rotation
rotation
is
is solid, bro.
amazing.
You
Our
don't need.
rotation is so solid. You have Jose Barrios. You had a Max Scherzer who has had a tremendous spring training.
I
You
like
got
Max Schrezer.
you know
That's like one of my top guys. Like
you got
him and
Gosman, who's
Massery
had
are two of my favorite pitchers. And
yeah, and you also have Gosman, who also like in that time,
I like Osmond too, and I'm glad
um,
that he's not hurt. Right, like
he had
last
a
year he
rough
was going in the season
year
hurt.
last year.
So um,
Sure, he had a rough year
Barrios.
last year too, but
I don't know about
Barrios
Barrios,
is
bro.
solid, man. He's gonna be a
He's
three,
solid. He's
four,
pretty
five
solid.
ERA kind of guy.
What?
He's half decent, bro. He's just a guy that's just gonna give you innings. And to be
Exactly.
He's
honest, if he was on
consistent.
another team going into a playoff, he wouldn't even pitch.
He's
Right?
consistent. You're
No,
gonna be
you're tripping.
You're gonna be the
kidding me.
third starter if somebody's hurt.
At least now we can say we sort of have a little bit of a big three with Vladdy, Bo Bichette, and Anthony Santander, who
Yeah,
signed with the Blue
absolutely.
Jays.
Yeah.
Signed a big contract, 5 years, 92 million. I mean, they'll be able to do their part in scoring runs and stuff and putting runs on the board. But it's the others in the rotation, such as Dalton Varsho, George Springer, that have to step up as well.
Yeah.
And even Alejandro Kirk signed a big 5 year contract extension up to about 58 mil. So he's got to really step up as well too. I mean, speaking of
Varsho needs to go. He
what?
needs to go very far away.
I don't even know what it is.
Good.
Anyways, speaking of contract extensions, I mean the Blue Jays are on the been on the hot seat with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette contract extensions. We're all hoping that
They'll both get signed.
yeah, hopefully
I think they'll
we're
sign.
hoping that they get signed sooner rather than later, or even worse, never. But at the point
They're gonna keep
with
them
this
around.
Blue Jays organization, nothing comes to surprise me at all. The bullpen, we all know last year they were by far the worst in the MLB. They were ranked 29th in ERA at about 5 runs. They allowed the most home runs at 92. And for every strikeout per 9 innings, there was 7.99, which was ranked last in the 29th in the league, 22nd in base on balls, and a hard hit rate at 41.2%, which was the highest in the MLB as well too.
And we don't have Romano no more.
Yeah, no more Romano. But I mean, these stats from the bullpen last year they were very unacceptable and very it cost the team a lot of games as well too.
They got that guy from Philly, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
What's his name? Hoffman?
Yeah, you got the additions of Jeff Hoffman
Jeff
and
Hoffman. There we go.
you got Yimi Garcia as well too. I mean,
We got him back.
but I can't really see this team making much of a run this year at all. I don't even see that the most I see them winning is 80 games, or at most 82, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they can. I hope they can, really get it together. And as we all have expressed our frustrations with the organization, but I mean, in due time, you extend Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you extend Bo Bichette, get some good players to add to the rotation, and we can become a playoff team in the years to come. But this year, I don't think it's happening.
And there's a lot of good teams this year.
There's so much good teams.
I
Cool.
don't think you guys realize the roster moves that has happened this year.
Amzad, what's your win total, yo?
I said it's like 80 to 84 max.
Okay, cool. And I want to shoot a quick question to y'all. Super quick, keep it brief. Who is your X factor for the Blue Jays for next season? For this upcoming season, sorry.
Bo.
It's got to be both.
Bo Bichette, eh?
Yeah, it's got to be
Good job.
both. It's
It's got to be Bo Bichette,
Yeah,
bro.
Bo Bichette.
Got to be
Bo
Bo
Bichette,
Bichette,
I
bro.
think, has to be the guy that we expect him to
And to
be
be
or
honest,
know of him to be.
actually, I don't,
Uh,
would you consider him an X factor though?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
look how
absolutely.
A hundred
Absolutely.
poorly he
Because
percent.
played
He
last year.
was
But
the missing
but
piece
okay,
last year.
okay. I have a question. Would you consider one of your star players an X factor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we don't know what to
Is an
considering
expect
they
X
were a
from
factor
him.
like a
non-factor
guy
last year,
that's
yes.
maybe not your best
Nah,
player, but
Like he
Coming
I
Amzad,
off
mean,
of
Amzad.
last
I
year,
would
kind of
this
like
is
he's
why
not
it's
really
your
good
X
for
coming off of
factor.
last
regardless,
year.
he's one of the top players, and he's still my X factor. That's all
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think Bo is gonna go off this year. I think
I think
he had the bone to pick with everybody, bro. Like everybody's like writing him off. They're like, "Yo, he this and that, da 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 da." All right,
yeah,
let's see what's good. I'm gonna show you guys this year.
Yeah, and he was like the
yeah.
talk of the town for
Because
trading as well too this time.
if we
Yeah.
if we look at Boba Shet in 2022 and 2023 when the Jays made their brief playoff appearances, he was arguably the best hitter at his position. I believe Manoa and Bowden Francis, because Bowden Francis, yeah, we saw what he could do in the second half of the season, but if he can show glimpse of that to do it throughout a full season, that would be a huge upgrade for
Oh,
that Blue Jays
definitely. He
rotation.
he was a relief pitcher, right? So
And you never know if one of them are doing really well. They could be worth something to trade too, right?
yeah, you
Yeah,
could get some
absolutely.
assets.
Right.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys for checking out our recap of the Toronto Blue Jays season. Unless if the panel got anything else to say, that's gonna wrap it up. What y'all think the Blue Jays are talking about this year? And if you guys are looking for clips and updates on the channel, go ahead and follow our Instagram, the Concast, and shout out to Azar for pulling up. He's in Puerto Rico right now, so that's why his
As you
internet's a
can tell
little
by the
Papi
tan, yeah.
puñeta.
As you can tell by the tan.
yeah.
You guys
Anyways,
can tell by
guys,
the internet connection, probably.
yes, of course. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See
All
y'all on
right,
the
take care,
next.
guys.
Peace.